holidays from all of us here in San Francisco. December is an exciting time for everyone at the SHRP Image, but especially for those of you in the stores. This edition of Image Update is packed full of information to help you have a successful holiday season. We'll show you that you don't have to be a wizard to master all of the personal data banks in your stores. We'll spotlight two new top performers. We'll explain how you can help telemarketing to handle thousands of phone calls a day. We'll have a special holiday message from Richard, and we'll give you a sneak peek at the latest SHRP Image store on Mars. But first, let's talk with Craig.
This month, I've got a very simple message for you. We could give you a whole laundry list of selling tips that will make you more successful. Here's 3 that you need to focus on. Number 1, sales presence. Recognize the customer when they come in the door and accommodate their needs. Number 2, know your products. And number 3, most importantly during this very hectic and busy time of year, know what's in stock. When you come in the morning, walk the stock room, understand the stock levels, and whenever you have the choice, move the customer into the item that's in stock and try not to move them into the item that's out of stock. What that's going to create is a situation where you're going to have a successful sale, and we won't have to be calling all over the country trying to find that one particular item that we're low on throughout the chain. The January catalog is just dropping. The next 10 days will be the busiest days of the season. Your individual performance will determine how successful you are and how successful the company can be for the holidays.
5 years ago, the SHRP Image was one of the first to introduce a small digital diary that stored telephone numbers and appointments. But we've come a long way since then. Our databanks now will wake you up in the morning, translate 8 languages, and organize your personal expenses. Here's Senior Merchandising Manager Don Rothenstein to give you an overview of our full line of pocket PCs.
Hi, I'm Don Rothenstein. I'm the Senior Merchandise Manager for Electronics, and I'm here to tell you about the SHRP Image's wonderful world of databanks for this Christmas season. We have enough databanks to fill the needs of every man, woman, child, and pet in America. As you can see here, we have a wide mix from Casio and from SHRP. Now this may seem like an intimidating mix of products, but it's really very simple, and I think in a couple of minutes we can give you all the information you're going to need to sell a databank to every customer who wants one. From Casio, first of all, we have the CO810. This is a $40 databank, our lowest priced databank, a basic unit, 2K of memory, and time and alarm. Then you step up to our old perennial favorite, the CO440. At $89, it offers 32K of memory, a 6-line screen by 18 characters. Then we have a new addition to the Casio family. This is the CO450. It is also a 6-line display, but it's got 18 characters across, so you add 2 more characters. In addition, it adds a much desired and requested feature, and that's time and alarm, and that's $139. Then you move to the Boss series, and these units do stand up on their own, as you can see. We have the CO864 for $249. Here you get a 40 character by 6-line screen and real keys, as well as, of course, time and alarm and a 64K of memory. The brand new piece from Casio, the Executive Boss, is our CO860. It's going to sell for $299, and it, like the Wizard, makes use of RAM cards. This one happens to be a 64K RAM card, but you'll also be receiving shortly additional cards like a dictionary card and other similar ones to the SHRP Wizard. Now what you get here is the same size screen, but you do get the card capacity and you lose, but unfortunately what you're going to lose here is you do not get real keys. So if real keys are important, sell the customer the 864. If they want to have the expandability and variety that a Wizard type of product with plug-in cards offers, sell them the Executive Boss. Also available for the Casio piece, for the Bosses, are the PC Link, and that's it, just the PC Link. By the way, for the 2 lower price units, we have over here a little desk stand, and this sells for $12.50, And we do request that you sell it because we own a lot of them. In addition, you're going to make a lot of money selling them too, and it makes a great little add-on to the sale. SHRP. Well, SHRP is a lot simpler than this. Whereas Casio had 5 units going up nicely in progression to $299, with SHRP you really only have 1 unit to worry about. Now I know there's 2 here, but one of these is going away. This unit, the old SH700, which sells for $249, is going to be removed from our sales floor shortly. So you can forget about that. The new one is a 64K unit versus a 32K unit built in, and of course it still handles the same cards. Other than that, it's basically the same unit, but you do get a 32K of extra memory. So the same cards we had before, with more planned in the future, are going to be available. Right now you have the Money Planner, the 8-language translator, the Thesaurus Dictionary, and the brand new Time Expense Manager, which you can use for solving all your financial equations. Of course, in the area of accessories for the Wizard, we have the printer, a PC link, and someday we're going to have a Macintosh link. And we'll also have one for Casio too. Seems to be a problem in making the software. So every time we get an ETA, they delay it. So as soon as we have it, you'll have it. But know that there will be PC links for both the Casio Boss and for the SHRP Wizard. And by the way, that is this Casio Boss. This one will not take cards. Lastly, 2 things actually. We have a stand too, which we'd love you to sell for the Wizard. And you will get free, or a customer will get free with every purchase of a Wizard, is this leather, genuine leather, carrying case for the Wizard. Basically the unit just sits in here and you have room for 3 cards. In addition, the SHRP Image will be the only location, the only store in the United States where the customer gets this over the counter. Everyone else will have to fill out, every other location, the customer will have to fill out a card and get it by the mail. In addition, we have the SHRP Wizard Video Instructional Guide, and this is also free with the purchase of any Wizard. Databanks are one of the categories that the SHRP Image has been known for 5 years, and with this mix of databanks that we have, it's going to be our best year ever. So whether your customer is a boss type of guy or a Wizard type of person, we have the databank for them. Thanks, and good selling.
In November, the SHRP Image mailed out over 7 million copies of this catalog to households and businesses across the country. It was the largest mailing in the company's history, and it's bringing in calls to our toll-free order lines at the rate of over 200 an hour. Here's a look at how the telemarketing department handles all those calls and how you can help them to improve service during this phone order frenzy.
Thank you for calling the SHRP Image. This is Debbie. How may I help you?
Great. I have the Pro, and I also have the Ferrari in stock. That means I'll be able to have them to you in 7 to 10 working days going by UPS. And Mr. Scott, would you be using your Visa, MasterCard, or American Express?
This team of talented and patient telephone reps will greet customers, provide product information, and key in orders over 35,000 times a week during the peak of this holiday season.
The noise level gets pretty high out there because everybody's on calls, and it just keeps everybody pumped up.
Manager Charlotte Van says she spends months gearing up for this, their busiest time of the year. And even with 45 new members added to their staff of 30, it's a challenge to keep up.
Just to give everyone an idea, it is 9:12 in the morning on a Monday, November 27th. I have 33 people currently on the phone, and I still have 37 calls waiting.
That completes the order, so you should receive this within 2 weeks by UPS, or if you'd like it sooner, we could ship it Federal Express.
With over 300 calls an hour coming in during peak times, Van says it's important that associates in the stores understand telemarketing's function. She says service to customers is sometimes delayed by calls from the stores to handle problems they're not equipped to solve. Here are some of the areas where there's confusion. Checking customer orders. The only thing a telemarketing rep can tell you is whether or not an order has been shipped. For air bill numbers or other information, you should call customer service. Credit card approvals. Telemarketing cannot process a credit card transaction. If you need assistance with that, call order processing. Order referrals. If you are out of stock on an item and you suggest to a customer that they order through the 800 number in the catalog, be aware that telemarketing is probably also out of stock.
That's been a problem in the past where the customer will call and say that, well, the person in the store told me that you would have it and you could Federal Express it to me. And it turns out that we have it on back order also. So they should be very careful and make sure the customer understands that this time of year in particular, things can go very quickly.
Very quickly indeed, as these representatives work together with you in the stores to sell hundreds of products every hour for a successful holiday season. We'll probably never win any Emmys or Oscars, but the Sharper image has continued to play a starring role in television and in the movies. Media and PR manager Gary Schweikart brings us this update.
Greetings from the marketing department. In our ongoing effort to attract more publicity for our stores, our catalog, and our products, we've had a lot of luck recently. Not only were there several catalog shots in the new film Worth Winning starring Mark Harmon, a few weeks ago we had this major plug on a top-rated TV comedy.
Bernice, this is too much. A chair. Look, everybody, a chair.
It's not just any chair, Charlene. It's a Sounds of Nature chair.
That's right. You know, I could have given you a rocker, but I thought you and the little one would enjoy this more. It has all the sounds of the Ozarks. Now listen. A babbling brook. Thunderstorm. Oh, and listen to this. Croaking frogs. Just like home.
I showed Bernice my Sharper image catalog, but I had no idea she was actually going to order this.
Oh, Bernice, this is so sweet. I'd have to put this right in the nursery.
A few days ago, marketing director Jennifer Wilkinson and I went down to Hollywood, and we met with a number of major studios to talk about possible celebrities appearing on our covers next year. The response was really great. Most of the studio honchos we talked with were thrilled with the Danny DeVito cover for December. While we were down there, we happened to meet with the producer of Total Recall. That's the Arnold Schwarzenegger film that's due out next June. In that film, the Sharper image is featured. In fact, there is a scene on the planet Mars that shows the first Sharper image store on Mars. Here's a little clip from that scene. It shows first the director setting the scene up, and then a very brief action clip. But I have to warn you, it's still very rough footage.
Nice when you say Richter, I got any turns, yeah? Okay. But that's fine. If it stays that way, I can manage it. Yeah.
Got way to protect you.
Get out of Sector G now. Don't think. Do it.
These are just another couple of ways in which the marketing department is working to attract attention and customers to your stores.
Once again this month, we bring you inside advice from two top performers in the company. Our first top performer is Leah Evans from the Beverly Hills store. Leah started with the company 4 years ago as a cashier, and in October she was the #1 sales associate in the company for that month. Leah just gave birth to a baby boy. Remarkably, she worked right up until the day of delivery and returned 1 month later to become the #1 sales associate that month. Leah says in Beverly Hills they have a very demanding clientele. She credits her success to her extensive product knowledge and the fact that she maintains a personal relationship with her customers.
I make sure that I keep a copy of the person's name and their address and phone number. And when we have in new products that they expressed an interest in or something that I think they'll be interested in, I'll call them up. When new catalogs come out and we get them in advance here in the store, I'll call them up and say, we've got a great new product coming into the store, and I want to call you when it gets here so you can come in and look at it. And I send out letters to my customers and thank you notes, and it's really worked. I mean, when I left the downtown store, I unfortunately had misplaced or lost a very large clientele record, and it was really gratifying to me that a lot of my customers tracked me down here to the Beverly Hills store and now shop with me here.
Our second top performer is Rick Messing from New York. His district manager describes him as a sharpshooter and says that he recently turned a $3,000 potential purchase into a $16,000 sale. Rick was the #2 sales associate in the company in October. Here's what he told us was his secret for success.
I'm very committed to maximizing my own personal income. So when I became committed to that, I devoted myself to discovering what it will take to do that in the particular location where I'm working. So I just, every time I deal with a customer, and I'm finished dealing with that customer, I look back on it and I try to see what worked when I was talking to that customer and what didn't work. And you do that for a long enough period of time, you start realizing and boiling down what actually are the principles that are going to work wherever you are and work for the Sharper Image.
Hello, I'm Richard. How can I express the excitement that we all feel in the busiest, most important time of the year for you and for our company? This is when it all happens. There is so much business being done these last few days. It is really incredible. It's going to be hard for you to maintain your composure, and it's going to be hard to get all the business written that we want to write. If I can give one small suggestion that I personally believe in, be ready to suggest a specific product idea at the specific price point that someone's looking for. Your suggestion will be really important to them. You are the product expert. They know they need to buy a gift. Know your price points. Be ready to make a suggestion. Also, try and maintain the composure that we're known for. This is the Sharper Image, probably the highest regarded retailer in the United States. We have a great reputation. Let's keep that in mind as things really start flying around the last few days. And lastly, let me just wish you a wonderful holiday season and thank you for the efforts you've put forth for us and what you're going to put forth the next few days. My favorite saying is one from Thomas Edison. He said, "Genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration." It's going to be a busy time. It's going to be really exciting. Have a great season.